Seekor penyu agar betina ditemui mati dengan kesan darah pada bahagian mata di Pantai Pandak, Kuala Terengganu petang semalam. Bangkai reptilia marine berusia antara 4 hingga 5 tahun itu ditemui orang awam yang berada di pantai berkenaan.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Swadi bin Omar, S54984. We present a final year project entitled Malaysian Awareness Towards Sea Turtle Conservation. I have been supervised under Dr. Rudia Mak Hanafiah for my project. I started with a sea turtle related introduction. Sea turtles are omnivore and herbivore marine species that are part of aquatic food chain. Sea turtles are very popular with some section of society who on average make sea turtle as an traditional food source. To prevent this from happening again, there is a need of the awareness of sea turtle conservation. However, the status of sea turtle alive for some species had dropped between 2010 and 2019. Among the 4 main species identified, green turtle, olive species increased rather than olive ridley turtle, leatherback turtle, and hawksbill turtle. This is due to the sea having committed illegal and climate change factor that pose a threat into the population of the sea turtle. Next, the issue on the sea turtle egg sold. An investigation into residential house by the Sarawak Forestry Corporation, 2 individuals were arrested for selling 652 sea turtle eggs without permission. Activity of getting the sea turtle egg for the selling purpose at the market have done illegally for some individuals. Another issue is that going to focus in the study is the death case of sea turtle in Malaysia. There have been 9 reported cases of sea turtle death along the Malacca beach. Several research gaps have been identified in the study by the scholar on the awareness of sea turtle conservation. Research gap is the location of the sea turtle study, the study of the sea turtle conservation using theory, knowledge, attitude, behavior (KAB), and the awareness towards sea turtle conservation is scholars. There are several objectives that are going to be achieved in the study. Firstly is to identify the relationship between attitude toward awareness of sea turtle conservation. Secondly, to determine the relationship between knowledge of sea turtle as endangered species toward attitude of sea turtle. Thirdly is to study the relationship between knowledge of sea turtle as endangered species toward awareness of sea turtle conservation. And fourthly, to evaluate the relationship between government enforcement toward awareness of the sea turtle conservation. The research question that are going to be answered is first, to what extent attitude will influence the awareness of the sea turtle conservation. Second, how the knowledge of the sea turtle as endangered species can affect the attitude towards sea turtle. Thirdly, does knowledge of the sea turtle as endangered species affect the awareness of the sea turtle conservation? And fourthly, what is the effect of government enforcement toward the awareness of the sea turtle conservation? In this study, I'm going to use the theory of knowledge, attitude, behavior. Knowledge, attitude, behavior is to measure the effect of attitude, knowledge, and government enforcement into the awareness of the sea turtle conservation. Awareness is the effect of communication into the people regarding the conservation of the sea turtle. That is the way deliver method to effective create awareness among the Malaysian people. Next is the attitude. Attitude is behavior and action of an individual associated with their awareness. Knowledge, next is the knowledge of the sea turtle as endangered species is how the individual use and interpret their understanding. And next is the government enforcement is the action to achieve to the policy to put the pressure into the individual to become more aware about the sea turtle. Next, I'm going to discuss about the methodology. Methodology used for this study is the quantitative approach. Target population for the sea turtle study is must be Malaysian. 18 years old and have access to the sea turtle or their information. The sampling technique used in this study is the convenient sampling. The sample size of the study used is 260 respondents. The highest amount of used respondents following to the scope of the study is Malaysian people from different states. The study is used the PLS-SAM method to analyze the data. PLS-SAM method is the type of multiple linear regression analysis where the analysis used when there have been a dependent variable of awareness towards status conservation and various independent variable. In this study is the attitude independent variable is the attitude towards status, knowledge of the status as endangered species, and government enforcement that become more complex. Next part, I will elaborate about the result of the data analysis. Through using the PLS-SAM method, there are two types of measurement need to analyze. Firstly is measurement model. The purpose is to measure the validity and reliability of the variable. The measurement model need to look the convergence and validity and discriminant validity. Secondly is the structure model. Structure model through I'm going to test the hypothesis that have been constructed. The important value to look is T value, P value, LL and UL. From the result indicate that attitude towards sea turtle and knowledge of sea turtle as endangered species has impact toward awareness of sea turtle conservation. Meanwhile, the relationship between knowledge of the sea turtle as endangered species have impact on attitude towards sea turtle. Government enforcement should not have significant impact with awareness of the sea turtle conservation. The study of examining Malaysian awareness of sea turtle conservation aimed to observe attitude, knowledge of sea turtle as endangered species and government enforcement among the Malaysian community. The study use of conceptual framework of knowledge, attitude and behavior theory. The study has been conducted through online questionnaire survey. Through the online survey, a total number of 260 respondents willing to participate in the study. The data from the survey show the attitude and knowledge of sea turtle as endangered species have significant relationship with awareness of the sea turtle conservation. Besides, the relationship between government enforcement and awareness of the sea turtle conservation has no significance. The scope of the study regarding the Malaysian awareness towards sea turtle are very limited. Therefore, the future studies suggest that to expand more study about the regarding awareness of the sea turtle conservation. That's all of my presentation about my final project. Thank you.